Hi everyone, so in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to crochet this really cute children's cardigan that can be made with long or short sleeves. So this cardigan can be made in 6 different sizes from size 0 to 6 months up to 4 to 5 years. And in this tutorial we are going to go over the instructions for size 1 to 2 years, but if you'd like to learn how to make any of the different sizes, then they are all included on the written pattern, and I will leave a link to where you can find the written pattern in the description box below this video. So for this cardigan you will need a 5mm crochet hook and worsted weight yarn. So thank you very much for watching, and please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more crochet videos. So to begin your cardigan, you want to start off by making a slip knot. So to do a slip knot, take your yarn and take your finger and wrap the yarn around your finger once and then twice. Then take the first loop and pull it over the second loop, and then take the second loop and pull it all the way over your finger. You then want to take your crochet hook, go in through this space and pull tight. And there we have our slip knot. And now once you have your slip knot, you now want to make your foundation chain. And for this size, we are going to chain 74. So chain 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 74. So I have finished making my foundation chain, and now we can move on to round 1. So round 1 is a nice easy round of single crochet, and we're going to work our first single crochet into the second chain from the hook. So here is the first chain from the hook, and here is the second chain, and you want to go down into this chain, yarn over and pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through both loops on your hook. So there we have one single crochet into that chain, and now we're going to do the same thing into the next chain, one single crochet, and then the same thing into the next chain, and just keep working this all the way along for round 1. You want to do one single crochet into every single chain. So I have finished working that all the way along for round 1, and at the end of that round you should have 73 single crochets, and I would definitely recommend that you just quickly go back and double check that you do have 73. And now we can move on to round 2. So to begin round 2 you want to chain 1 and turn, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So we're going to start off by doing one single crochet into the first stitch. So here is our first stitch, as our chain 1 did not count as a stitch, and you want to go down into this one and work one single crochet. And now we're going to do one double crochet into the next stitch. So yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and go through 2 loops, and then yarn over and go through the final 2 loops on your hook. So there we have one double crochet into that stitch, and now we're going to do one single crochet into the next stitch, like that. So we have one single crochet into one stitch, one double crochet into the next, and then one single crochet into the next one. And now into the next stitch we are going to work one double crochet and a single crochet, both into this next stitch here. So yarn over, go into this next stitch and do one double crochet, and then you want to go back down into that same stitch there and do one single crochet, like that. And now into the next stitch we're going to work one double crochet, and now do one single crochet into the next one, and then into this next stitch work another double crochet, And now into this next stitch, we are going to do a single crochet and a double crochet both into this stitch. So you want to go down into the stitch and do one single crochet and then yarn over, go back down into the same stitch and work a double crochet. So there we have done one single crochet into one stitch, a double crochet into the next, and a single crochet into the next, and then a double crochet and a single crochet into the next one. And then we've done a double crochet into the next stitch, a single crochet into the next, a double crochet into the next one, and then a single crochet and a double crochet into the next stitch. And we're going to keep repeating that set of stitches again and again and again all the way along for this round. So we're going to do that again. So we're going to work one single crochet into this next stitch here, then one double crochet into the next one, then a single crochet into the next stitch, and then into the next stitch we're going to do a double crochet, and a single crochet into this stitch, and then we're going to do one double crochet into the next stitch, one single crochet into the next one, one double crochet into the next stitch, and then into the next stitch we're going to work a single crochet and a double crochet both into this one. And just keep repeating that all the way along. So you're doing single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, then double crochet, single crochet into the next stitch, then double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, and then a single crochet and a double crochet into the next one. So just keep repeating that for round 2. So I have finished working that all the way along for round 2. So I have worked single crochet, double crochet, both into this last stitch here. And you should find that you have one stitch left at the end of the round. And we're going to finish off by working one single crochet into this last stitch. So finish off with one single crochet at the very end of the round. And you should have 91 stitches at the end of this round for this size. So you should have 91 stitches at the end of round 2. And now we can move on to round 3. So to begin round 3, you want to chain 1 and turn, and this does not count as a stitch. So round 3 is a much easier round. We're going to start off by working one double crochet into the first stitch. So yarn over and go down into this first stitch here, as our chain 1 did not count as a stitch, and do one double crochet. And then we're going to do one single crochet into the next stitch. And then we're going to do one double crochet into the next one, and then one single crochet into the next stitch. And we're just going to keep working this all the way along for round 3. We're going to do double crochet, double single all the way along. And in this round you should find that whenever you work a double crochet that you're working it into a single crochet from last round, and that whenever you work a single crochet that you're working it into a double crochet from last round. So continue to repeat double crochet and single crochet all the way along. I have finished working that all the way along for round 3, and at the end of this round you should finish off by working a double crochet into the last stitch at the end. So you want to work 1 double crochet into that last stitch at the end, and then at the end of round 3 for this size you should have 91 stitches. And now we can move on to round 4. So to begin this round you want to chain 1 and turn, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So we are going to start off by working 1 single crochet into the first stitch here, as our chain 1 did not count as a stitch, and then you want to do 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then do 1 single crochet into the next one, and then do 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then into this next stitch here we are going to do a single crochet, a double crochet, and then another single crochet all down into that same stitch. So we are doing 3 stitches into that one stitch there. So you want to go down into the stitch and work a single crochet, and then work a double crochet down into that same stitch, and then work another single crochet into the same one. So we have single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, all into that same stitch. And now we can yarn over and go into the next stitch and do 1 double crochet into this one. So do 1 double crochet into that next stitch there, and then we're going to do 1 single crochet into the next stitch, 1 double crochet into the next one, and then 1 single crochet into the next stitch. And then into this next stitch we are going to do a double crochet, a single crochet, and then another double crochet all into that stitch. So we are going to do 3 stitches into this next stitch here. So yarn over, go into the next stitch and work 1 double crochet, then do a single crochet into the same stitch, and then work another double crochet down into that same one. And we're just going to continue working this set of stitches all the way along for round 4. So this is another increase round, so we're going to continue working this set of stitches all the way along. So we're going to do a single crochet into one stitch, a double crochet into the next, a single crochet into the next, and a double crochet into the next stitch. And then into this next stitch we're going to increase, so we're going to do single crochet, double crochet, single crochet all into that next stitch, and then we're going to do a double crochet into the next one, a single into the next, a double into the next, a single into the next, and then into this next stitch we're going to increase again, and we're going to do double crochet, single crochet, double crochet all into the same stitch. So you want to keep repeating that set of stitches all the way along. So I'm going to do that again. We're going to do a single crochet into the next stitch, then 1 double crochet into the next, then a single into the next, and then a double crochet into the next, and then into the next stitch work single crochet, double crochet, single crochet all into this stitch. And now we're going to do a double crochet into the next stitch, a single crochet into the next one, 1 double crochet into the next one, and then 1 single crochet into the next. And then into this next stitch here we're going to work double crochet, single crochet, double crochet all into this stitch. Like that. And just continue to repeat this all the way along for round 4. And you can go back in the tutorial and re-watch those stitches as many times as you need to until you get the hang of it, or if you have the written pattern, they're all written down nice and clearly on there. So keep repeating that for round 4. I'm just coming to the end of round 4, so I have worked that all the way along, and you should have finished off by working double crochet, single crochet, double crochet all into this last stitch here, and you should find that you have 1 stitch left at the end of the round, and we are going to finish off by working a single crochet into this last stitch at the end of the round here. So finish off with 1 single crochet. And now we can move on to round 5, and for this size that we are making in this tutorial, at the end of round 4 you should now have 127 stitches, and I would recommend that you just quickly go back and double check that you do have 127, as it's quite easy to go wrong in that round, so make sure that you have the right number, and then we can move on to round 5. So to begin round 5 you want to chain 1 and turn, and round 5 is a nice easy round. It's exactly the same thing as we did for round 3. So we're just going to do 1 double crochet into this first stitch here, and then we're going to do 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and then we're going to do a double crochet into the next one, and then a single crochet into the next stitch, and then just keep working double crochet, double single all the way along, and you should find that whenever you work a double crochet that you're working it into a single crochet from last round, and that whenever you work a single crochet that you're working it into a double crochet from last round. So just keep repeating that all the way along for round 5. So I have finished working that all the way along for round 5, and at the end of that round you want to finish off by working a double crochet into the last stitch at the end. So I have finished off by working 1 double crochet into that last stitch, and now we can move on to round 6. So to begin this round, chain 1 and turn, and that does not count as a stitch. And now this is another easy round. We're going to start off by working 1 single crochet into the first stitch. So go into this first stitch here, as our chain 1 did not count as a stitch, and do 1 single crochet, and then you want to work a double crochet into the next stitch, and we're just going to continue working single crochet, single double all the way along for this round. So do 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and then 1 double crochet into the next one, and just continue to repeat those stitches until you reach the end. So I have come to the end of round 6, and I have finished off by working 1 single crochet into this last stitch at the end here. So you want to finish off by working a single crochet into that last stitch, and now we can move on to round 7. So to begin this round you want to chain 1 and turn, and this does not count as a stitch, and this round is another easy round. We're just going to work double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, single crochet all the way along. So we're doing 1 stitch into each stitch. So we're going to do 1 double crochet into the first stitch there, and then do 1 single crochet into the next, and then 1 double into the next, and 1 single into the next. So continue to work double crochet, single crochet all the way along for round 7. So I have come to the end of round 7, and when I got to the end of that round I finished off by working 1 double crochet into that last stitch at the end of the round. So finish off round 7 with a double crochet, and now we can move on to the next round. So now once you have finished working round 7, for the next part of our cardigan we are just going to repeat rounds 6 and 7 4 times. So we have just finished round 7, so now we're going to do round 6 again, then round 7, then round 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7. So we're repeating those 2 rounds 4 times, and you can go back in the tutorial and re-watch those rounds as many times as you need to, or if you have the written pattern, they're all written down nice and clearly on there. And as you can see, I have already worked those repeats. So I have just worked those 4 repeats of round 6 and 7, and this is what you should have. So we have completed the top part of our cardigan, and now we can move on to round 8. And round 8 is a really important round, as in this round we're going to be adding in the shape of our cardigan. So what we're going to do to add in the shape is we're going to work along a certain number of stitches for the first half of the cardigan. We're then going to skip a certain number of stitches for the first sleeve, then work along some more stitches for the back, then skip some more stitches for the other sleeve, and then work along some more stitches for the other half of the front. So that is how we're going to add in the shape of the cardigan in round 8. So to begin this round, you want to chain 1 and turn, and this does not count as a stitch. So we're going to start off by working 1 single crochet into the first stitch, and you should find that you're working that into the double crochet from last round, and then you want to work 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and you should find that you're working that double crochet into a single crochet from last round. And we're going to repeat that set of stitches 9 more times. So we're going to do 1 single crochet into 1 stitch and 1 double crochet into the next stitch 9 more times. So I have finished working those repeats, and we have finished the first half of the front of our cardigan. So you should have 20 stitches in total for the first half of the front, and I would definitely recommend that you just quickly go back and double check that you did work 20 stitches. And now we can move on to the first sleeve. And for this sleeve, we are going to chain 5. So chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we are going to skip the next 23 stitches. So you want to count 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 23. So here is my 23rd stitch, and we are going to skip this one, and then we're going to move on to the next stitch. So this would be the 24th one along, and we are going to work 1 double crochet into this stitch. So yarn over, go down into this stitch, so this would be the 24th one along, and you should find that that is a single crochet from last round, and we're going to work 1 double crochet into this stitch, like that. So there we have chained 5 and skipped 23 stitches for the first sleeve. So this is what you should have. And now we can move on to the back of our cardigan. So we have done 1 double crochet here for the first stitch of the back, and now we're going to do 1 single crochet into the next stitch, like that. And we are going to repeat that set of stitches 19 more times. So we're going to do double crochet into 1 stitch and then a single crochet into the next stitch 19 more times, or 20 times in total with that first set that we just worked. So I'm going to do my first repeat, so I'm going to do a double crochet into the next stitch and then 1 single crochet into the next, and just keep repeating that. Finish repeating that set of stitches along for the back, and you should now have 40 stitches in total along for the back of your cardigan. And now what we're going to do is we are going to work 1 last double crochet into this stitch here for the back. So work 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and that is the final stitch of the back of our cardigan. So you should now have 41 stitches in total along for the back, and like I said, I would definitely just recommend that you go back and double check that you do have 41. And now we can move on to the next sleeve, and we're going to work this sleeve in the exact same way as we did the other one. We're going to chain 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to skip the next 23 stitches. So count 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 23. So there I have my 23rd stitch, and we're going to skip this one, and then we're going to move on to the next stitch, and this would be the 24th one along, and we're going to work a double crochet into this stitch. So yarn over, go into this stitch, and you should find that this is a single crochet from last round, and work 1 double crochet into this one. So there we have made our next sleeve. So this is what you should have. So we have skipped 23 stitches and chained 5. And now we're going to move on to the last part of round 8. So we have done 1 double crochet into this stitch here. And now we're going to do 1 single crochet into the next stitch. And you want to keep repeating that set of stitches until you get to the end, and you should find that you do 9 repeats. So you want to do double crochet, single crochet all the way along until you reach the end. So there I have come to the end of round 8. So we worked those stitches along for the other half of the front, and you should find that you have 20 stitches in total for the other half of the front, and you should have finished off by working a single crochet into the last stitch at the end. So there we have finished round 8, and you can see we have added in the shape of our cardigan. We now have a front, a back and 2 sleeves, and now we can move on to round 9. So to begin round 9, you want to chain 1 and turn, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. And this round is really easy. We're just going to work 1 double crochet into 1 stitch and then 1 single crochet into the next stitch all the way along. So you want to do 1 double crochet into the next stitch here, into the first stitch, and then do 1 single crochet into the next, and then do 1 double crochet into the next one, and a single crochet into the next, and continue this all the way along for round 9. And when you get to underneath the arms with our chains, you want to continue working that stitch repeat across the chains. So you just want to do 1 stitch into each chain. So you should do a single crochet into this last double crochet here, and then you'll do double, single, double, single, double across the chains, and then do 1 single crochet into this next double crochet here, and then a double crochet into the next single crochet. So you're just continuing to work your stitches across the chains, working 1 stitch into each chain. So continue to repeat double crochet, single crochet all the way along. So I have finished working that all the way along for round 9, and you want to finish off by working 1 double crochet into the last stitch at the end. And this is what the underarm section should look like. So this is what it should look like when you work into the chains. So now we have finished round 9, and now we can move on to round 10. So to begin this round, you want to chain 1 and turn, and this is another nice simple round, but we're going to do 1 single crochet into the first stitch, and then 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then we're just going to repeat this all the way along. So we're going to keep repeating single double all the way along for this round, so it's nice and easy. So I have finished repeating that all the way around for round 10, and when you get to the end of that round, you should finish off by working 1 single crochet into the last stitch at the end of the round. And there we have finished round 10, and now we can move on to the next round. So for the rest of the length of our cardigan, we are just going to repeat the last 2 rounds that we just did again and again and again. So you want to repeat rounds 9 and 10 until you have the length cardigan that you like. So you can go back in the tutorial and re-watch those rounds as many times as you need to, or if you have the written pattern, they're both written down nice and clearly on there. And they're both really easy rounds, so it's quite easy to remember what you're doing. So just keep repeating rounds 9 and 10. And for this size, you should find that in each of those rounds, you have 91 stitches around. So then once you have worked all of those repeats and you have the length that you like, this is what you should have. So this is what our stitch looks like. We have a nice textured stitch throughout the entire cardigan. And then when you get to the length that you want to fasten off, so pull your yarn out and your hook and cut your yarn, leaving a nice long tail to weave in later. And now all we have left to do is the border and the sleeves. So we're going to move on and work the border first. So with the border, you want to begin at the bottom left hand side of your work. So you want to reattach your yarn into the bottom left hand side down here. So now as you can see, I haven't worked any of the repeats for the length of my cardigan, but that's okay. For the sake of this tutorial, I can still go ahead and just show you the border. So like I said, we're going to reattach our yarn into the bottom left hand side of our work. So go to the very last stitch at the end here, insert your hook into the stitch, take your yarn, place it over the end of your hook, pull it through and chain one. So we're reattaching our yarn in the bottom left hand side. And for the border, you may want to drop down to a 4mm crochet hook. So for our cardigan, we have used a 5mm hook, but for the border, you may want to go down to a 4mm hook, as this just makes it a lot easier to get into the side of the stitches when working the border. So our border is nice and easy. We're going to do one single crochet into the side of this first stitch here. And now you want to chain two, so chain 1 and 2 and then skip the next stitch. So as we're working into the side of the stitches up along here, I'm going to skip this next little space here, or this next stitch, and then we're going to do one single crochet into the next stitch, chain 2 and then skip the next stitch, then do one single crochet into the next stitch, chain 2 and skip the next stitch. And we're going to do that all the way up the left hand side, up all the way around the neckline, and then all the way back down the right hand side, and then fasten off when you get to the end. So here we have our cardigan, and our border goes from the bottom here all the way up the left hand side, all the way around the neckline, and then all the way back down, and then you want to fasten off when you reach the bottom here. So we're doing single crochet, chain 2, skip the next stitch, all the way around. When you come up to the top here, so when you reach the corner, you just want to continue working that border around the corner. So I have done single crochet, chain 2, skip the next stitch. So then I'm going to do a single crochet into this next stitch here, chain 2, skip the next stitch, and it becomes much easier when you're actually working around the neckline, as we have actual stitches to work into and we're not going into the side of the stitches. So you can see we actually have proper stitches that we can work into and skip around for the border. So continue to work that all the way around. So I have finished working that all the way around for the border. So this is what our border looks like. So it gives us this really pretty kind of chain loop look all the way around the top, and it is completely optional. You don't have to add it if you don't want. And then when I got to the end, I fastened off. So this is what my cardigan looks like now. Obviously I don't have the length finished, but you want to work your border once you have done all of those repeats for the length. And the good thing about this border is that it can actually double up as buttonholes. So these little chain 2 spaces work out perfectly as buttonholes. So you can see I have been able to fit these buttons through my chain 2 spaces. And now if you wanted to use bigger buttons, so really anything that's bigger than this, then you may want to replace a couple of those chain 2 loops with chain 3 or chain 4 loops, depending on how big the button is. So what you want to do is work out where your buttons are going to be. So place them regularly throughout the left hand side of your cardigan, and then when you are opposite one of your buttons, you can then replace the chain 2 loop with a chain 3 or a chain 4. That would just give you a bit more space to get a larger button through the hole, but with my buttons the chain 2 spaces worked fine. So then once you have done that, so you have added your border and your buttons, if you want your cardigan to be short sleeved, then you have finished, so you can weave all of your ends nice and securely into the inside of your cardigan and you will have finished. But if you want a long sleeve cardigan, then I will show you how to add the long sleeves now. So we can now move on and add our long sleeves, and the first thing that you need to do is make sure that the wrong side of the last round of the sleeves here is facing you. So I need to turn my work inside out. So I'm going to turn my cardigan inside out, and now I have the wrong side or the back of this last round of the short sleeves facing me. And we are going to start off with this side here, so with this sleeve, and we are going to insert our hook into this stitch here, so into this double crochet. So you want to insert your hook into the first double crochet that has not already been worked into from this round here. So here we have the first double crochet that hasn't already been worked into, so we're going to insert our hook into that double crochet and we're going to place the yarn over our hook, pull it through and chain 1 like that. And now we're going to work 1 single crochet into this stitch. So do 1 single crochet into this stitch here. Now we're going to do 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and you should find that you're working that double crochet into a single crochet from this last round. And now we're going to do a single crochet into the next stitch and a double crochet into the next, and you want to continue working that all the way around until you reach the last stitch that hasn't already been worked into along the front of your cardigan here. So continue working single crochets into double crochets and double crochets into single crochets all the way around your sleeve until you reach this last stitch that hasn't already been worked into. So you can see this one's been worked into here, so we will stop once we have finished working into this last stitch. So continue to repeat that for round 1 of the long sleeves. So I have finished working that all the way around, and I finished off by working 1 single crochet into that last double crochet that had not already been worked into. And now we have reached the underarm section of the sleeve. So we have reached this underarm section, and we're just going to continue to work double crochet, single crochet all the way around this section here. So we are going to space those stitches out evenly, and I'm going to try and work 9 stitches evenly along this section here. So I'm going to try and space out 9 stitches evenly along this section. But if you wanted your sleeves to be a little bit narrower, so you didn't want as many stitches in your sleeves, then you could space out 7 stitches evenly along this section instead of 9, and then each round of the sleeves would have 2 less stitches in it, and it would just mean that your sleeves weren't quite as big. But I like to have my sleeves just a little bit roomy to make them more comfortable, so I'm going to do 9 stitches evenly into this section. And for this little section you can actually go down to a 4mm crochet hook. As we are going to be working into the side of the stitches, it is easier if you go down to a 4mm hook just for this small little section underneath the arms, and that way it makes it easier to get into the side of the stitches. But if you do choose to go down a hook size, make sure that you are working quite loosely to keep your tension even. So I'm going to use my smaller hook, and I'm going to do 1 double crochet into the next stitch, then a single crochet into the next. So we're working into the side of the stitches here. So there we have 2. Then I'm going to do a double crochet into the next, and then a single crochet into the next. So there I have 4. Then a double into the next. There's 5. Single into the next for 6. A double into the next for 7, a single into the next for 8, and then a double crochet into the next stitch for 9. So there I evenly spaced 9 stitches out along that section under the arms there, and I have continued to work my pattern all the way around. And you need to make sure that you finish off on a double crochet, so that you finish off by working a double crochet into the last stitch at the end, or into the side of the last stitch. So there we have finished round 1 of the sleeve, and now we can finish off round 1 of the sleeve by working a slip stitch into the first stitch that we worked. So there we have finished round 1. So this is what our round looks like, and now we can move on to round 2. So to begin this round, you want to chain 1 and turn, and this does not count as a stitch, and we are going to do 1 single crochet into the first stitch, and remember to go back to using your larger hook now, so your 5mm hook if you did switch the hooks up last round. So do 1 single crochet into the first stitch and 1 double crochet into the next, and continue to repeat single crochet, double crochet all the way around. So I'm just coming to the end of round 2, so I finished off by working a last double crochet there, and now we're going to finish off by working a slip stitch into the first stitch of the round. So there we have finished round 2, and now for the rest of this sleeve you just want to keep repeating round 2 again and again and again. So chain 1 and turn, and then do single crochet, double crochet all the way around, and finish off with a slip stitch. And when you do that, so once you have done all of those repeats, this is what you will have, and you can work as many repeats as you like until you get the length sleeve that you want. And then when you get to the end of your last round, fasten off, and you can weave that end nice and securely into the inside. So this is what our sleeves look like. They're nice and roomy, so they've got lots of room for comfort, and then they have the pattern going all the way around. And what I like about this pattern is you really can't see the seam at all. So you can't see the seam from where we did the slip stitches at all in the sleeve. So now we can move on and make the other sleeve on the other side. So we are now going to move on and make the other sleeve of our cardigan, and the other sleeve is worked in the exact same way. So you want to make sure that you have the wrong side of the last round of the sleeve facing you, and then you want to go into this last double crochet that has not already been worked into from this round here. And for this sleeve, that double crochet is on the front of the cardigan. So with the other sleeve it was on along the back here, but for this sleeve it's along the front. So you'll go into this stitch here and work a single crochet, and then just do rounds 1 and 2 and repeat round 2 in the exact same way as you did for the other sleeve. And if you have the written pattern, all the rounds are written down nice and clearly on there, or you can go back in the tutorial and re-watch those rounds. And it doesn't matter that we're starting off in the front, because as I said, you cannot see the seam at all. So even though the seam is down the front here, you can't tell, there's no seam. So there we have finished working our cardigan. So once you have weaved all of your ends nice and securely into the inside, and you have attached your buttons really nice and secure, especially if this is for a baby, make sure that they're attached nice and securely, we have finished. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it easy to follow. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more crochet videos. And in the description box below this video, I will leave a link to where you can find the written pattern. So the written pattern includes all of the different sizes. And in the description box below this video, I will also leave links to my Instagram and Twitter accounts. So I always like to post updates and pictures on there, especially Instagram. And I would love to see photos of your crochet work on there as well. And thank you very much for watching. Bye.